Hello, hello everybody. How you guys doing? Welcome to the stream. I need to make one quick message because I just got news that we're actually gonna get cats today. So let me just text that, finish my thought, and then I'm gonna come back to you and explain to you why we're gonna get cats today. Um, so, um, the situation is the following. Um, So we weren't really looking for cats anymore. We were initially looking for well, like to do like cat sitting instead and not actually like have cats on our own yet. Especially not multiple cats. Like we were considering to potentially get one cat, but like definitely not multiple. And at the same time, we were still low-key considering to maybe get a dog instead because I'm more of a dog person. Um, but friends of ours who have cats, so they had two cats, two female ones, and I got two male cats in November, which are pretty young. And they thought like everything is going fine and everything, but now they notice that one of the cats is actually getting like really, really stressed out and losing weight because of being so stressed out. Um, and they can only go as a pack. So they thought about it and they're looking for a place for these cats because they're like, okay, this doesn't work with the cats we have. Like they're getting like so agitated at each other and yeah, it just, doesn't really work out. And they knew that we like looked into getting a pet sort of soonish and we're like, hey, you know what? Like, do you want to try adopting these cats? It's the two young ones. It's the two male young cats. So we're just gonna try it. Like, we're gonna get them today. Um, And we already had like all of the cat stuff because of the cat sitting we did. Um, we had to cancel on a cat sitting job and probably not gonna have more if this works. So that's a bit sad because that could have been like nice money, you know. Um, but yeah, we're just gonna see how it's gonna go. It's definitely sort of like a like we're gonna try it. But if it doesn't work out, we need to find them like a proper home where they can stay. Um, and we're just sort of trying us like for the off chance that we're gonna be like happy with two cats. Um, but yeah, like we didn't really plan on getting two cats, or like we wouldn't have even gotten like one cat at the moment. Um, if it were sort of like up to like getting a new cat and stuff. But since the option is there and it's like anyway better probably if they stay somewhere else while they are trying to look for like a new home for them, we're just gonna see how we like it. And I don't know, like maybe we're super happy with it and we're gonna be like, you know what, like fuck dogs, like we love our cats and we love that we have two and you know, like everything is perfect and then we're just gonna keep them. Um, or we're just gonna be a sort of like a temporary home for these cats while they find a place which they're gonna be happy at. Um, but yeah, so this is why we're gonna get two cats today. Uh, yeah, kind of excited. We'll see how it's gonna go, I guess. Now, and one of them is definitely like super cute. One of them is like really cuddly as well. Um, they both look a bit deranged, to be honest. Like I don't know, like you, like sometimes cats just look insane. You know what I mean? Like some cats look really nice or smart. Some cats just look insane. They more so look insane usually. But they're still cute, you know. um, And yeah, we're gonna see how insane they behave. Like if they're gonna like run around the whole place, tear everything down. Or if they're gonna be like chill about it, but we'll see. But one of them is super cute and always like really cuddly. The other one is apparently like little like scaredy cat. Um, and has like sort of in the cuddly cat, their like support buddy. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But welcome everybody. And Grumpy Palace Cat, you're here as well. Let's go. You haven't been here for a while, like only recently you came back. So I'm happy to see you again. And hi Mill, and hi Nirek, and hi Indy, and Beaver Logic, welcome as well, and hi Judith. So how are you all doing? You need to sleep soon, Mill? Oh, you're gonna try to stay awake as long as possible. I mean, I appreciate it, but like sleep comes first. Like if you know, if you feel like sleeping, just go to sleep. How do you come back from a total loss of motivation from things that brought you pleasure before? Let's get into this in a second, okay? I'm just gonna catch up with chat and then we're gonna get into it. Oh, it's just about cat juggling. I always see the glowing eyes looking at you. Bro, I hope not. I hope not. Oh, we'll see, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. We're just gonna try. So, how do you come back from a total loss of motivation from things that brought you pleasure before? Is the question. Um, so there's multiple things to this, right? Um, sometimes it can be like a very, what's going on? Okay. I'm just gonna turn my phone off. Sometimes it can be like a sort of temporary, like a why it started can be from like a temporary situation. Um, but a lot of the time, it's sort of like a starting symptom of depression. And then there's something which has to change, right? Um, and usually, sort of the way how to, like, how people say in, like, if you read like guides on like how to cope with depression and stuff like this, what they sort of advise doing is just trying to sort of like get back into the joy or remind yourself of the joy by doing like trying all these old things which gave you joy at some point. That could be in childhood or like things from childhood, like for example, like kids' candy or something, or just like old hobbies which brought you pleasure, and just like sort of like try doing them like every, like not, I guess it depends on like how like you shouldn't like force yourself like every day to it or anything. But just like give them a shot again and again. But if it's coming from, for example, just like elevated stress levels because of, I don't know, like a shitty working situation and stuff, then it's not just gonna go away, right? So then you have to change what's wrong actually and what's causing this for the symptoms to go away too. So that could be then, for example, like switching the job or finding like a better, I don't know, like talking with your boss and finding a better arrangement. I don't know if it's about like stress in the family, it could be that the next step of action or a good step of action would be to like talk it out with everybody. If it's like a sort of weird like partner situation, then like talk it out or like a leave. Um, but like sort of like tackling the root issue, why your why your life seems to just lack this sense of joy, right? And this is usually just like if you have like elevated stress levels or are distressed because of something, or if there's like something heavy weighing on you. Um, and yeah, once that's removed, then just, give yourself time, like try those things again. And also just like try new things, see what you like. Sometimes we also like change and we just don't like we change in like what we like, but we don't really change what we do in life because we're like so stuck to the habits that we just like we don't really try new stuff. And then we, I don't know, like started getting really interested into, I don't know, for example, like dancing or something, but we don't seek out a dance class, but just like stick to gaming and stuff. And then it's maybe just like time to update your hobbies and like find new hobbies you like. Like maybe you're done with an old hobby. Um, and I think sometimes it can also like, for example, with gaming, I had that like, I don't know why, but I feel like for like a certain time, I just kept on gaming even though it wasn't fun. Um, because I don't know. Honestly, I guess it's just a thing of like habit, but also like because of stream and like I wanted to stream and like therefore you have to play games and stuff. And like having friends who want to play games with you and then you don't want to tell them no, sort of. And then I just like kept on playing these games even though they weren't fun. And I don't know, in that situation, it was just perfect to, you know, just take a break, pause with those games, and come back to them from like a fresh start, like some months later, but just like stop with it and give yourself time to like cool down until you remember again what was the thing which was actually fun about them. So for example, like when I like with gaming for me, it was a thing where like I just like kept on like playing League even though it wasn't fun. Um, but when I then like just stopped playing League and like at some point like came back to it, I came back to it because I wanted to like play all these different champs and I wanted to play these like really funny combinations on like bot lane where like they're sort of cheesy, you know? And like don't try hard, but actually just play for the fun of it. And when I kept on like beforehand, when I kept on playing, even though it wasn't fun anymore, I was getting like more and more tilted from it. Like I was taking it like way too serious. And it was the perfect situation to just like take a break, stop with it because it wasn't fun anymore, and then come back once you remember again why you like once this feeling of like actually wanting to play it comes back. But there's definitely hope, like for sure, Beaver. Like there's this is not like an uncommon thing. Like feeling sort of like it can also, for example, be like a really big life change. So, for example, if you move from like being a student and like having time for all of your hobbies, there's like less pressure of having like high quality hobbies, if that makes sense. And then you move over to like having like a 40-hour job. And then it's like you don't have enough time anymore to just like wasted on like low quality hobbies, if you know what I mean. And then it's like you need, all of a sudden, you need to find hobbies which are sort of giving you satisfaction in less time to then also have like rest time, for example. So there's definitely like a lot of hope. This can come from so many different places. So many different people experience this at least once in their life. Like it's super common to have this if there's like bigger life changes where you need to like sort of like find your grip again, you know, and find out like, okay, how am I gonna use my time? What do I want to do in my time? Like where you just are in this situation where you have to figure out like what are the bigger priorities and what is more important than other things, and to yeah, just sort of form a good daily routine again, let's say, because the old routine is like not properly working anymore. And that takes some adjustment period. But yeah, definitely like just, you know, like stay, like don't get too hopeless because of it. But like stay experimenting, like you don't like try new things, see if you can find joy in different things maybe. Or see if you can do the thing you found joy in. Maybe you have to change how you're doing it. So for example, with League for me, like I would have had to change from like doing it like try hard and like caring too much about rank to like focusing on the fun part again and like trying out different champs and not focusing on like how good I'm performing, but like how much fun it is and like doing it with friends again and stuff like this, you know? So, like, be curious about it. Like, try to find out what is better or worse. Like, is it better on days where you feel less stressed, for example? Like, is there some joy coming back if you're on vacation? Maybe then it's just the stress level, you know, and you need to find a way in your daily routine how you can lower the stress levels. Like, maybe you just can try like different hobbies. And if those are fun, then maybe it's just, you know, that your hobbies changed and what you like changed. And yeah, like stay curious about it and try different things. And uh, the more knowledge you have, the easier it's going to be to solve the problem. So like even if you don't find the right way in the beginning, it's going to bring you closer to the result anyhow. But I get it how this can feel like super strange to someone, right? And super weird. Like you don't expect it, and it can happen like quite sort of like it usually doesn't happen suddenly. It usually happens like slowly, but you suddenly realize it. And then it's like it's not this like one thing where you instantly know like, oh, it's because of that, and then you can change it. And that's why it can feel like quite sort of like hopeless or powerless because you don't really know how to change it. The biggest thing I found from this was to keep trying the things that gave me pleasure before. Yeah, just give them a shot, but like don't force yourself, you know? It means like trying them. Like for example, like with the league thing, it would have meant like every once in a while doing like one game. And after the game, like check in with yourself like, okay, do I like this? Was this fun? Was this no fun? And also like trying different things, like different games maybe, or like picking up a new hobby like crocheting or something, you know? So like stay sort of experimental with this and see, like look for new information. Like try to find out in which situations it's like you can experience more fun than in other situations, or if there's situations where you experience like especially less pleasure from hobbies you did before. And then sort of with all of that information you gather, you can then like make a better plan. But like yeah, so definitely like keep trying, and there's a lot of ways out of this, don't worry about it. And I think as long as you just like stay curious about it and like try to understand where it's coming from, you're gonna get closer to the goal for sure. And hi Harsh, welcome, welcome. um let's see if Beaver Logic still has questions, and then otherwise we could talk about your problems, Harsh. But let me catch up with chat for a second because I was focusing on Beaver Logic right now. Oh my god, Grumpy Fella's cat. I see a Timo player right there. Or Shaco. I'm good at focusing on just the joy of the game because I'm trash at gaming. I mean, are you trash at gaming though? In that regard, right? Like gaming is a thing where like for most people, like except like esports pro players, but for most people, gaming is a free time activity, which is essentially, yeah, supposed to be fun, supposed to be pleasurable, right? And satisfying. So I think if you're good at focusing on the joy in the game, you probably like use your time better than like some other people who like don't get paid to do it, but still don't like doing it, you know? Yeah. You're happy? All right, Beaver. And then like, yeah, just try those things. And you know, like if you have like more information but you still can't quite figure it out or something, then like definitely like just come again, like bring it up again, and we're gonna talk it through a bit more. Like depending on like you know like your situation and like how often you experience something like this can be like quite confusing. Um, so if you don't figure it out on your own right away, like don't worry about it. Just come here again, and we're gonna talk it through. Is this a specific and exclusive mental health channel? Twitch recommended it to me, but I might not understand questions or comments. I like to practice my English. Um, I mean, so, hmm. So we're talking about mental health, like so this channel is not entirely about mental health. Like we usually do mental health streams. Sometimes we also play Minecraft, for example, and I still want to play D&D at some point with you guys. I know I haven't done it still, but I like it's on my bucket list. At some point I'm gonna do it, trust me. Will only take a few more months. um and so you can definitely use it to like practice English. I think within the mental health talks, It's just important that uh you make sure you're not, like offending anybody or um yeah. But apart from that, like we're happy to have like anyone here who's like taking part and taking part in making this a wholesome, safe space. Yeah, D&D is really nice. I'm glad you started it. I love D&D. So, then coming back to Harsh. Are you still here, by the way? Just making sure that we don't talk to the void. Because then we could get into your struggles. Oh, by the way, Beaver, we also have like a Discord. So if you ever just have like a small question or something, you can also always ask in the Discord. Harsh, are you still here? What I'm drinking? It's Actimel. Do you guys know this? It's like I think like just by the shape of this, in Germany, everybody would know what this is. In the Netherlands, like a bit less, but like still, I guess. But in Germany, this shit is big. It's like usually quite expensive, but it was on a market and there's always a stand there who's like selling stuff which is about to go bad for like really cheap. So we got like 12 of those for like €2.50. And they're allegedly they're sort of like nice for like your guts and stuff. But it's like usually they're way too expensive when you just don't, you don't buy it for that. I think all I do is just have fun with it. I made the best dirt cottage in Minecraft the other day. The toxic nitrogen follow. I mean, that's so nice. I can't wait playing Minecraft with you all. There was like yesterday, there was another, no, 2 days ago, there was another announcement, where they were like, it was supposed to be released on April 30th, but they're still not ready. But they say like, it's like gonna be like any week now. But I can't wait anymore. Like, I'm so, I want to play it. But we'll see, I guess. We'll see how long it still takes, and then we can play as a community on the server. I'm currently 20 years old, and last summer I was diagnosed with level 1 autism. Always had anxiety, both social and generalized, and depression, which have worsened over the years. I've had severe problems being functional and useful to society for the past 2 years, and it doesn't look like that's going to change. Aw, I'm sorry, buddy. I mean, are you getting therapy now that you're diagnosed with autism? Because like people who are like autistic, they don't need to have anxiety and depression, right? Like it's definitely like, like it's very normal that like people with autism struggle to like take part in society like the regular way, let's say. But like I hope they didn't just were like, oh, well, you're autistic, that's why. So we're not gonna try and help you. Like I hope you're in therapy and like trying to like find a way to deal with this. Like even though you have autism, there's a lot you can like process towards, you know? Like there is no like hard cap on your capabilities if you're autistic. So like the work, like if you put work in, there's still gonna be results from it. No. Sad. Okay. Yeah, always tell me like in the beginning when you get an ad, instantly like type I have an ad right now. That always helps. So what I said is if you get therapy right now, like if you're in therapy and I don't know if you heard the first bit, it was just like, like I'm sorry for what you're going through. And then I sort of instantly went to like, if you're in therapy right now or getting help with progressing or like processing the anxiety and depression, because, like, not like just because you're autistic doesn't mean you have to like suffer under anxiety and depression the entire time. Like, there's still stuff you can do about it. And there's like really like there's no hard cap on your capabilities if you're autistic. Like you can still work towards skills which are considered hard for autistic people and like get results from the work you put in. I mean, it's of course like, like your own choice what you want to work on and what not and stuff, of course. But I just hope you're not like you didn't like go to therapy with like, hey, I need help with anxiety and depression, and they were just like, oh well, you have autism, so we're not gonna try and do something about this. Hmm. Interesting, Andy. And thank you for 25 stream streak, Andy. Let's go. And hi, Relaxino. Welcome, welcome. And hi, Skills. I mean, good for you, Skills. A autistic person got superpowers. Yeah. So there's a thing, right? I think it's definitely like we shouldn't see like I personally don't like to see autism in such a sort of like that a person is limited too much by it way. I feel like sometimes we can be like as a society we can be quite like can have quite ableistic like views about autism and also ADHD and stuff. But on the other hand, it's definitely something where like I also don't want to fully romanticize it and be like, oh, like they all have superpowers and like their life is like so much better because like they do struggle. Like it's for a lot of individuals who have autism, like taking part in society the way it is now is quite hard and has a lot of challenges. And like even though they can like do a lot of things if they are in the right environment, it's still like really important that we offer ways to support them, to yeah, make it easier for them to be a part of society in a useful way or to fulfill their potential in society, let's say. Hmm. I mean, have you ever considered therapy, Relaxino? Or like, are you in therapy? Or is therapy an option where you are? Hmm. That all the medication I was prescribed last year didn't work. So a few weeks ago, they started giving me esketamine weekly at the hospital. Oh, I don't know actually about esketamine. But yeah, this is exactly what I mean. Like it's like very important to also acknowledge the struggles that like individuals with autism like often face, and not only like portrayed in a like positive light. Um, but yeah, so like, are you in therapy focus? Like, do you get treatment for your like depression and anxiety in like a like not only with medication, you know, but actual like therapy for it? Welcome, Fluffy. I see you relaxing. Hmm. Have you checked out if there's any, so because there's a thing, right? Like, I mean, we can of course like try and help you, but I'm gonna be honest, like this help, like a stream online, is not gonna be the same as like therapy, like in person and support in person, right? Like we can't really be there for you in person, like no matter how good of a job we do here. So what I would love to check out if I were in your position would be to see if there's any local support communities. Like there's so many mental health communities, actually. Also, like neurodivergent communities and neurodivergency, like information, awareness, support, all of that. So maybe there is like a community center where you could like find help from. And also, I do have to say, like the programs of governments, like all over the world, have gotten better and better in terms of like mental health over the years. So it might be interesting to just sort of check if there's options you don't know about. Because what I know is that with most of these options, actually, with most of these like social support things you can get and stuff, you don't know about it if you're not in them and like not getting them. So it might really be interesting to just, you know, like send an email to like the city where you live, like to the government there, and be like, hey, is there is if are there like any like support groups or supporting services I can get with like ADHD or therapy or something like this, because it might surprise you what they actually have to offer. There is a lot of like people are noticing all across the world that like mental health is a thing to be taken serious. And there is a lot of places like mine where people try to help others, and especially those who are like not fortunate enough to seek out paid services. So I wouldn't completely give it up. I'm just saying. Like there might be programs for you. But we can definitely also like I can share um some resources with you. Um, Focus tight. I didn't get an answer from you yet. How if you're in therapy right now for depression and anxiety, apart from getting medication? Mhm. So, relaxing. I just picked out a resource you can look through. This is from helpguide.org. I like their sort of article and their information I have about ADHD. And it's a really good website. They have like a lot of articles which are really, really nice. and, you know, like made by professionals. And they also, let me see if they have something on like, mm, oh, okay. Don't worry about it. Focus. I live in India. Most of people are not aware of mental conditions like ADHD, autism, etc. And there is no community here locally. It's okay. I don't need resources. I just want to get it off my chest. That's why I have online friends. Few I talk about my struggles. Or I have trust issues about telling a stranger about my life. No, I get it. I just think, you know, like like even India is making like a lot of process in progress in like suicide prevention. Like India is definitely one of the like harder countries where like progress is, you know, is a bit slow. Um, but they're trying. So it's not like there is no progress, right? And it's only gonna get better. Like every year, it's gonna get better. And even though like most people are maybe like not aware of it, um, it's like these spaces are always made by some people who are usually like have been affected themselves or have loved ones who've been affected and who are trying to yeah, just educate and spread awareness and sort of like fight the good fight, you know. So just because the like general public is not like on that like knowledge standpoint doesn't mean it's not there. But if you already checked for local communities, then well, that's a pity. And you just want to get it off your chest. So you don't want like advice on like how to find a way out of it, because that's sort of the way like I took your first message. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. Ah, it's so sad always to hear stories where like psychologists or psychiatrists who've been like doing a really good job are actually like leaving because of their own mental health. It's like a really tough field to work in. Hmm. I'm glad you found like a therapist again where you feel like you're connecting quite well. That's amazing. And I'm glad you're gonna return to therapy soon. Are there like is part of your therapy also like group therapy, by the way, Focus? And welcome, Asta. Thank you for the lurk. Mm. All right, Asta. Have fun lurking. Were there specialists about this mental health as far as the problem? Hmm. No. No, that's a lot. Oh, that's a lot relaxing. I think it's really good that you already made a plan on like how to hopefully get out of there. Hopefully soon. But yeah, your situation is definitely quite tough. In terms of like, because you say, so the thing I'm getting is, I think you have it low-key figured out. Like you know what the next steps are and what to do next. Hmm, yeah, no, I get it. I mean, especially if you're so young, it's like hard to like build up like a stable income. Um, if you say like you're like trying to make a stable income online, like I don't know like what services or whatever you do online to make a stable income, but there's a self-promotion channel on my Discord, and you know whatever you do, you can promote it there. And like I don't know if that's gonna help, but you know like you can try. And like hopefully that's gonna do something. And apart from that, like maybe there's like yeah, I think in your situation you just like low key like settle for good coping mechanisms, or like find the most comfortable way to live in a situation you're going through right now. Hmm. Okay, yeah. Well, then the self-promotion channel you can definitely like send your affiliate links in. So, I mean, I don't know how much, you know, this it's shared that the well there are some Indian people in our Discord as well, yeah. And apart from that, like if links are sort of like global, then they would work as well, I think. Yeah. Mm. And that's amazing with the private mental health association and that they want to help you. I think like these workshops could be like really quite nice. Like I feel like usually if you have like social anxiety, like group therapy or like group workshops can be like really nice. Um there is one thing I can just recommend. So I never did like an official diagnosis, so I'm not sure. But my therapist sort of like unofficially we sort of agreed on that I have autism as well. And the thing I really notice is that, especially with like social anxiety, um, and also like stress levels in general, just sort of like my tolerance levels to stuff, um, are really dependent on just doing it habitually or not. So, for example, like while COVID, when like, like you don't go out much, like you were usually inside and stuff, like after COVID, it was way harder for me to go outside, and like especially to go outside alone. And it's like I don't really know, like, well, I do have ideas like why they started, but it's like it doesn't really matter where it started. Because what I know is like the more I do it, the better it gets. So sort of it's a thing where like you start with small steps, like don't throw yourself into the water if you can't swim. Like be chill about it, like start small, but try to keep doing it. Like try to sort of build a habit where you like slowly progress on like getting better at it. And like the important fact is just that you interact somehow with it, even though it's scary, and that you like slowly, slowly, slowly raise the difficulty. So like always push yourself, but a little bit, like not too much. Like don't put yourself in like survival mode, but push yourself a little bit where you're able to experience your emotions and where you're able to just be like, okay, but it's like fine, Like you don't have to suppress any emotions yet. There is no like major stress response or anything. Like you're challenged a bit. You're like kind of uncomfortable, but it's like to like a fine amount. Um, and then like sort of through the habit, it's gonna get like better and better. At least for me, it's like the way I go about anything right now. And I notice that it's like honestly, this is how it works best. I don't know. Like it's I feel like if you're a little bit like me, it's like sort of because of this like um because of the way I am, potentially autism, um I go into like the OCD direction. Like I'm sort of disconnected to my emotions and my bodily signals. But I try to be like really aware of them and sort of control them, which is going into OCD direction. And it's a thing where like I can't quite get out of it because I do need to be aware of them and I do need to control them because I don't feel hunger. I feel stomach pain, you know? Like if I don't try to be aware of it, I'm just gonna neglect my body hardcore. Like I need to like make sure I eat enough. I need to make sure I remember that I need to drink because I'm not gonna be thirsty and be like, oh, let me just drink, Like I need to remember what my body needs to then do it and like be aware of symptoms which are coming up to then give my body what it needs. And this is sort of also the starting point, or like where like OCD can like come from. Um, because OCD is about essentially like controlling your emotions by controlling the environment. And how about you drink something right now? Actually, I did drink already something, by the way. Also, this is one of the things I need to do. Like, I need to fill up like a big like bottle of water. Well, it's not anyhow you get it. And have it next to me because otherwise I wouldn't drink for the entire rest of the stream. Like it's like having these, for example, these like, oh, drink something like channel point rewards. It's like also a reminder for me to drink. Actually, I don't usually have drinking struggles anymore when I stream. if I have water here, on the pretense that I have water here, because I started to always drink if there's nothing to say, like to fill the void, essentially. Um, yeah. And essentially, with like OCD, or if you're going into that direction, like a very common treatment is I don't know how the short term is, but it's like exposure and uh, fuck, how's it called again? Like it's exposure therapy with like controlling um how's it called? Let me Google it real quick. Exposure and response prevention, ERP. So I can only recommend that you're gonna like check it out. Let me see if I can just like give you uh like a good article about it. Excuse me, I sent hello, enter. Man. Okay, this is about OCD. Did I then also have this? Yeah, this is also about ERP. So this is an article about like OCD, and like if you scroll down, they also mention the like exposure and response prevention ERP, and then they have a link to exposure therapy, and yeah, they can read up about this. And this is sort of like how I handle it and how I notice like really good changes. It's really important for me though that I not only do exposure therapy, but that I really do the exposure and response prevention part of it too. So like if you try exposure or like this exposure therapy mindset, let's say, or philosophy, and try to implement it in your life, it might be like if only that is not really working for you. That was sort of similar for me. Like it didn't have that big effects, but with the response prevention, it definitely had way bigger effects. So just be aware of that. Um, so that like yeah. So if you're like me in that regard, take that in mind. You drank the void, but the void is calling me. So I'm gonna catch up with chat for a second. Give me a second, guys. Mm, yeah, I guess we also went into the question of like, do I have struggles too? Yep. I've experienced like a truckload of bullshit in my life, guys. I was already in therapy. I'm now out of therapy. And I'm so glad I went for therapy. I was for 3 years in therapy. No. That's so sweet of you to say, Caesar, by the way. Like, this community is like, this is what makes this community so wholesome. And I hope you know, Caesar. So, thank you for taking part in making this community wholesome. And welcome to the stream. I'm glad to have you here. Whenever I try to socialize in real life, hope for some people understand me, but whenever I tried, I didn't get the vibe. I felt ignored judgments and a mental force. They tried to kind of like brainwashing me. So that's why I don't have any real life friends. Hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely like your case is to say it in like it's like American terms. Like it's kind of like a woke case, right? So you need to have a certain level of um yeah, let's just say it's like harder in a conservative country for sure to find people who are open to that enough. Um but I'm glad you don't stop to try friends. Like I'm glad you still try even though you have like most success online instead of in real life. But it's important to try and make friends. Friends are really important. And hopefully you can find some real life friends who are, open to that. I mean, maybe even you're gonna find someone in Discord. Like, who knows? You got twins? Congratulations. How you feeling? Omega Minecrafter? Like, is it like are the babies like, behaving? Or are they kicking you the entire time? Like we have another mommy here, and she also got twins. And th- it's bad. Like she's constantly in pain. It's really like I hope they're gonna be healthy and it's gonna be like over soon, and then she's gonna be healthy again and not have this pain. Thanks for the OCD resource. I've had it since I was 5. Yeah, I don't know. OCD is quite common, right? Like, I feel like when I was young, I never, like, I only had this picture of OCD in terms of like this, like movie type situation of like the person who like puts their pens in like a specific row and stuff, or like is washing their hands frantically. But I never heard of anybody actually having it. Like, I thought it was like so rare. And then And then I learned that I have like OCD tendencies, and I was like, huh, but what the fuck? Like, I don't wash my hands frantically. And well, this is just like like, the most, not even basic, it's just like the movie stereotype you have in your mind. But like, OCD is like so much bigger than that and so much more varied than that. And I don't know, like since I'm now like more like informed about OCD, like you see it in like for so many people. Like you hear it from so many people. It's like it feels way more common than back, like not than back in the day. I don't think it's more common than back in the day. I don't have information on that. But it's like once you know about it, you just see it way more often. You know what I mean? Like before you just didn't recognize it. Like somebody would literally like have to tell you, "Oh, I have OCD." And now it's just like you sort of like you like hear from friends of like I don't know about like their habits, and you're sort of like that's kind of sus. It's sort of like it's I really love in like a way about this that it's once something gets more awareness, so many people all of a sudden can relate to it. And it's not that they're gonna have the full-blown diagnosis, right? But I feel like sometimes struggling with mental health things or struggling with being different can feel so isolating, right? Like it can feel like nobody's gonna understand me. Like I, as the only person on the fucking planet, is going through this. And the thing is, that's just not the case. Like always, if something got like more publicity, more awareness, there were so many people relating to it, at least to a trait of it. This is also why like so many people are pissed off about like everybody like diagnosing themselves with like ADHD or autism on TikTok. But what it essentially shows is that we're not alone with the experience we go through. Like there might not be a person who's going through the exact same thing. Like there probably isn't, because like the exact same thing is shaped so much by who we are and what we went through. Like we don't just experience a situation, but we experience this situation with our history as us through our body, right? Like whatever we see is not the reality, it's our reality. It's shaped by who we are and what we lived through. And so it so often feels like, oh, we're alone in this. Nobody understands me. Nobody's gonna, like, I can't talk to this about anybody. Like, nobody will, like, everybody will think I'm weird and stuff. But that's not the case. And I think it's really beautiful how, even with a really uniquely shitty story, you can find people who can relate with you. Because you don't only feel seen if somebody is exactly going through what you are going through, but you already feel seen if they can relate to one trait. And one trait is something where nearly everybody can relate with you. Really. Like you could potentially talk to any random person and you can find one thing you agree on and relate to each other about. And I think that's quite beautiful. And it's quite peaceful because it means you're not alone. Oh, I was talking about League of Legends then. Yeah. Is this what this community does? You used the word before, awesome, but I didn't understand it. Um, awesome is amazing. Like it means something like, yeah, like amazing, um, cool, good, beautiful. Like it's a positive description of, like, it's higher than cool. Like it's more positive than, oh, that's cool. No, this is awesome. Like it's so cool, you know? That's what awesome means. Can somebody describe it better? Or is that good? And Yoshi, welcome. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. And hi, Faker Mink. Yep, 50 mental health talk. Let's go. How you trust your therapist when you got into when I got first into therapy. Um, I'm not sure if this is a thing where like if this is like the general or the like stereotypical answer or whatever. I got into therapy with this mindset of like with a very, very rational mindset. Like I started therapy with being brutally honest to myself. Because beforehand I was always like, oh, but I'm smart and like there's so much self-help content online, like I can do this and I should do this on my own. Like I don't want to like talk to somebody else and like, like they're probably not gonna understand me, they're probably not gonna help, blah blah blah. And then I was like, like be fucking for real with yourself for a second. Like you tried for I don't give a fuck like 6 years to fix it and you didn't. Like is this what you want to waste your time on this like invisible badge of you did it on your own where like nobody fucking cares about it? Like nobody like you're not going to get money for it or anything. You're just wasting your life on this on like frantically doing it on your own where there's like it's just stupid. um and just like like this resource is available and it should be more broader available. Like you're not, like you didn't ask for this bullshit, so like the bare minimum they can do is trying to help you if you ask for help. And also, like, who do you think you are that you can do a job of a therapist? So this is how this was the mindset. I was brutally honest with myself to then go out and be like, okay, I'm gonna ask for therapy. Um, and with that, it was just a very, like, it was a purely logical decision. Like, I didn't trust my therapist. I just told them everything. Like, it didn't need trust to be that honest with them. Um, it was just like I trusted that this is allegedly how the system should work, so I'm gonna do it. Um, so I just made the decision that I'm just gonna do it and like see what happens. Like I trusted that they wouldn't tell other people about it. Like I was low key also like I moved the country like sort of shortly beforehand. So it was like even if they tell anybody, like nobody knows me here. Like it's just doesn't really matter. I mean, even though back in Germany, like even there, like who would they tell? Like they don't know anybody in my social circle. Like what would they do with the information if they wanted to hurt? Like this information can't hurt me. Um like if they were to tell my life story to other people, like I don't know, like people would feel sorry for me. So it wouldn't be, I don't know, like I wasn't scared from like them like telling it to anybody. And I was like, okay, like if they're gonna be a dick about it, I can just like not show up anymore. Like I'm not, just because I go in the beginning doesn't mean I have to keep going. So I'm just gonna try it and like and I'm just gonna like stay and see what they have to say. But like if they're gonna be an ass about it, then I can still leave later. Um so it was just, yeah, it was just, I don't know. I didn't trust them. I didn't trust them to be a good therapist. I didn't trust them to be like super simpatico or whatever. Like I just was like, if this is supposed to work, I need to like they need to have this information because this is their job. And I'm gonna give them a chance. And this is not for them, but this is for me. And with the first therapist, it wasn't really clicking. Like she was just letting me talk the entire time, and not really giving me advice, and just like asking me how I feel about stuff. And I was just like, what the fuck? I don't know. This is so useless. And then I got to my second therapist, and I didn't expect much from him in the beginning, and I clicked with him. Um, and I was able to just like I started trusting him through telling him when I don't believe him. Like when he told me stuff how things work, I was like, but like, why would this be the case? Like, what, huh? Or like, no, I don't like, isn't it like the completely different way? Isn't it like this and that? Or like when he said like, oh, but like they don't like judge you or whatever. Like society doesn't judge you. I was like, what the fuck you mean? Like society does judge you. Like we have like this whole thing of like, oh, nobody's judging you. They do judge you. Like, what do you mean? And but with that, he used it as an opportunity to like actually make me understand and get to the point. Um, which then made me understand the lessons properly, right? Because beforehand, I would have like, if I would have said like, okay, yeah, sure, I wouldn't have believed in it. But because I was distrustful in the beginning, I but like still committed to actually like just telling him and giving him the chance to explain. There was this space to clarify miscommunication, to properly explain if there's like something not being understood, and to get to the bottom of it and to actually create an understanding. And then I didn't have to do things because I had to trust my therapist because he knows what's best. But I did it because I now was convinced as well that it was the best for me. Like, I never did things because I was like, oh, but my therapist told me to do these. Like, I discussed this with my therapist and he had good arguments. And that's why I did it, you know? So it's like you don't have to trust your therapist that he's like, you know, like an amazing person or whatever. You just have to trust the facts they put out. And you can also mistrust them at the beginning. You don't have to trust them at the beginning. Like in the beginning, when I told them my story, I was like going about it like a bullet point list of like, yeah, with 4 years, I was kidnapped with, you know, like it was bullet points after bullet points. There was like no emotion in it. And only later on, I actually like felt safe enough to like connect with the emotional side of these things. So it's not like you have to show up and be the perfect patient. Like it's literally like they are trained to deal with fucked up people, right? Like they don't like it would be stupid if they needed the perfect patient. Like they are trained to deal with the shittiest patients potentially. Because it's, you know, like you show up and you're mentally unwell. Like that's the whole idea behind it, right? Like you're mentally unwell and they help you. So there's no expectation to like be perfect or logical or super reasonable or to have consistency and perfect discipline. Like nobody expects that of you. I grew up with no treatment, so I didn't know at all the things in my head. Like the intrusive thoughts also went along with my panic. Need to keep everyone around me safe. I have a contamination touch contact form of it, but there's also mild checking. Last year I was diagnosed with postpartum depression, OCD, PTSD, and anxiety and started to learn a little bit about all of them last year. That's a lot. It's like I feel like it's really tough actually if you get diagnosed really late because it's so big of a habit in your life already. So I am glad that you got diagnosed and that you're getting treatment now, Lady Alitair. I can only like, did you like, I don't know if you got the link from before. Um, this website here has really good resources on most of the like mental health topics and has like a lot of good articles about it. So if you ever want to learn more about it, I can recommend this website. It's like really, like it's nice to use, it's nicely written. But this is a lot. And I hope we can be here for you and support you a little bit along the way. I'm really happy, Focus, to hear about this. I'm glad you found some good friends. And hi, Lady Reinhard. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? I'm glad you found this place, Caesar. And of course, of course. You're welcome for the warm welcome. I feel like the last few months just been a lot, no? Like I feel like for a lot of people in the stream as well, it's just like there's been a lot going on in the last few months. Like I don't know, maybe it's a time of year or something. But there's just been a bunch of stuff happening. And hi Lucan, by the way. Welcome, welcome. So I would actually like to use this opportunity, this moment of silence, um, to ask if there's either any sort of questions about what we just been talking about, or if we want to do like a general mental health check-in, because usually that's what we start the stream with, and this time we didn't really start the stream with it because we started right away with like big questions and big topics. So we could just do like a little, like a mental health check-in is essentially like how have you been doing in sort of like the past week or so? How has your mental health been going? Like it's supposed to, instead of being a check-in on like how life is and like a like sort of like a big thing like this where I feel like it can be sort of quite ambiguous, and usually it's like not that helpful because usually when people struggle they're not they lack a bit of grounding. And so what we do with the mental health check-in is we check in how the last week has been or the last few days, and if there was progress in the last week or the last few days. So it's supposed to sort of go from like, oh, my life is so shit, to like the last week specifically was actually sort of decent for my life being shit, you know? Or like there was like a tiny nice thing, or this was specifically hard, and like put the focus a little bit more in the present instead of this like overarching looming theme we sometimes have in our minds. Because I feel like this overarching looming theme can quickly turn quite hopeless, whereas sort of talking about the present is usually more helpful to actually take the next step and also make a decision on like what maybe would be good to do. Because sometimes we can sort of forget that there's sort of a big part of mental health care for yourself is preventative care. And I feel like if we're stuck in these overarching themes, and we lack to look in the present what we need right now, we're less likely to actually like do for us what we need. So in this moment where we sort of analyze the last week, we might come to the conclusion like, oh, actually, you know what? I should rest tomorrow. Or, you know what? I should meet up with friends. It's actually like, you're right. It's been a hard week, actually. Or we might feel a bit more hopeful and like we can go a next step into a certain direction because we're like, hey, last week actually was quite nice. Like this last thing I handled, like that was so much more progress than like a couple years ago or something. So this is what the mental health check-in is supposed to be. Yeah, so let's go. And thank you guys for the follows. I appreciate you all, and I'm glad you like it here. The stream is only this wholesome because of you all. You know, you're the first person who told me that you're going through a lot. Yeah, I think sometimes talking about this can be quite hard. So I'm also really happy that we have this space. Like I feel like it's one of the things why I love this stream, because it's a thing where it's, even though our topics are usually kind of negative, it feels really connecting. Like it feels oddly like nice and peaceful and loving. Even though we talk about depression, anxiety, and suicidal ideations a lot. But yeah. And hi, Aycroft. Welcome, by the way. Or had a metaphorical tale, like with everyone in life, this tale was connected. So what that meant practically was I had to always go the same way back, because going a different way would make me more disconnected with people. I needed people. Oh my god, that's wild. I wasn't near them being... We're talking in a regular room where no one could differentiate how I was breathing. Oh my god, that's wild, Indy. That's actually so interesting, though. But that must have been exhausting, too. Like, the entire time, like it's sort of like this, like there's this meme, right? About like doing like a D&D spell, and then like you're now consciously breathing and it being super bad, and this is literally was your life now. Like this is consciously breathing the entire time, to which direction you have to like breathe in and breathe out. Like what the hell? Like weren't you like hyperventilating or like all of this the entire time? Like this must have been hella exhausting. Like it's breath work, but like 24/7. But I'm glad you share. Like I really appreciate it. So how did, like, are you still breathing into like directions of people, or are you over that already? Like, have you been able to like work through that? But this is so interesting. Like, it's such a unique worldview. I feel like it's really like it's oddly beautiful because it's, so first of all, completely acknowledging that this was like probably super exhausting and taxing on the body and everything. But listen, hear me out. What I think is kind of beautiful is that it shows how creative your thinking was as a kid. Like you came up with this logic and it sounds like magic. You know what I mean? But to you, it was completely real. And I love that. Mentally a mess, and I just want to give up. I will be okay someday. Therapy is hard and it keeps opening wounds I'm not ready for. Were you able to talk to your friends a little bit about boundaries, or did you call the suicide hotline yourself to get a bit of like emotional support with like hearing of this suicide attempt of the kid? Like, did you do any of that or like recommend them to call the suicide hotline and ask for support there as well so that you don't have to carry so much? And hi, joke bad. Yeah, from my singing, my text write was not easy. From hearing my song, my text write is not easy. Hmm. I think making art always takes a lot of revisions. But you got this. That's a big of a question to ask me in that past hour or something. My bad. And then last week there was a mixture of good and horrible. So what is that supposed to mean, Lady Ragnarik? Are you able to, like, how are you handling it? Lady Terror, this last week has been really hard. I'm struggling and haven't been able to get in to talk to my therapist in a month. So how are you holding up? Like, is this giving you like motivation in some way to like uh schedule the next therapist appointment, or is this just making everything so much worse and you're like happy if you know, like are able to like get out of bed? And do you have anybody supporting you? To Alitair. Lucan, I got to work a full week at an on-call freelance position providing support to schools, so my paycheck is going to be nicer than other weeks. Didn't end up going to this walk for the National Alliance for Mental Health alone, or with friends, so that was a con of the week. I got it. But that's really nice that your paycheck is gonna be nicer. Good for you, Lucan. And I mean, maybe you can do something different than the walk. Like maybe you can like show up at like a community center or support some like mental health community center close to you. I miss the old Kanye. You look like Tony Soprano. Well, um, it's really mental health stream right now, so I've been diagnosed a few years ago and I'm still confused if I should tell that to new people I meet after I get someone close to them. Hmm. What have you been diagnosed with? Jubino? Is that how you pronounce your name? You feel like malignant worthlessness? So what you gonna do about that? What's the plan? How to cope with these feelings? I mean, that's a shitty feeling. Do you know if it's coming from somewhere specific, Quinn, or not gonna lie, I've woken up not brewing because I must have dreamt of someone I didn't like. Oh my god, India, I didn't know it would even influence dreams. That's crazy. I didn't even think of that. That's wild. Also scary. Lady Ryan for me last week, I've noticed I'm getting psychosis, like symptoms like hearing people call my name that didn't say anything and feeling like there's loose hairs on me that weren't there. But then the good thing that happened on Saturday was I got to see Ashley Gavin, lesbian comedian live, and got to meet her at the meet and greet after. I mean, that's amazing. But with the psychosis, like, that's definitely like bad news. Like, were you able to talk to like a mental health professional about this already? Like, what's the plan about it? Or is there already a plan about it? It's like I regret not having a band with the girl, and that's confusing because I was okay with the deal we made. Have you talked about this feeling with them, Asta? I feel like sometimes like dealing with the emotional impact of something like a someone close to you like committing a suicide attempt is best handled with other people who are experiencing the same feelings. And I don't know, like maybe you could, just like talk to the mums and they probably understand what you're going through to a certain degree at least. And thank you, Atomic. I love the earrings as well. Mm. I'm glad you have your husband, Lady Alitera. And I hope you can get an appointment soon. Maybe you can concentrate on finding some peace in the moment. Like you have scheduled the appointment, and once the appointment is there, you're gonna know what to do next. But as of now, you've done everything which is good to do, and there is no more you need to do until that appointment is happening. So maybe you can just, find a way to pause on the worry and be like, find peace with knowing you're on the right path. You know? Aircraft. I feel I'm doing bad or something because I struggle with evaluating on life like you guys do so well. Find the question, how has the last week been, way too big. Every time someone asks me, how are you? I panic. It's too big of a question. I guess it's because I'm just generally struggling, but I don't know. It doesn't need to be. I think it is a big question. It's a question I personally actually always hated in therapy. Like I had therapy weekly, and every time I came to therapy, we talked about, like, he asked me, how have you been? I hated it. Because I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to say? Like, like we had a plan for this appointment already, and now you're just asking me about different things. Like we need to pick a lane here, because otherwise I'm just gonna go on about daily things where they don't matter, and we're not gonna get any progress down here. You don't need to evaluate the entire last week. This is more supposed to be a gut feeling check in, if that makes sense. For most people, it's described easy when you ask them, how have you been in the last week? For some people, a question like this is really ambiguous in terms of the level of detail which is expected. So if you want to answer this question, or if you want to get the same use out of this question, which is at least the idea behind the question, it's ask yourself how you're doing right now. And if there is, like, it's supposed to be a check-in to see if you're going into the right direction. Like, have you been taking care of yourself recently? Because, and the way I bring in the last week is because with a lot of mental health things, the effect is not direct. So, for example, if I were on social media for the entire weekend, the effect wouldn't be directly after it. Like there would be some effect directly after it, but it would sort of be like small, you know? So the moment where I can understand if it affected me or not is usually sort of like a half a week or a week after, when I look back on a week and I check in with myself how I feel, and I feel like I'm not doing anything, I'm stuck, everything is hopeless, the world is going to shit, and everything sucks ass. Then I know I've been too much on social media, or I did something, like something is like not good about how what I did in the last week. And then I sort of think about, okay, what did I do? Like what could be the cause? And then I'm gonna get to social media being the cause. Or because I already know myself, I instantly will know, okay, social media is gonna be the cause. And then I know, okay, like for the next couple of days, again, I'm going to focus that I don't spend a lot of time on social media. I'm going to stay away from that to bounce back, essentially, to balance myself out again, to not go into a full deep dive on my mental health and like completely crash down, but essentially to notice if I'm on a downhill path and then be able to readjust to the way up again. So it sort of depends on how you get this result for yourself. It's some people like to sort of think about the best thing and the worst thing in the past week and sort of think about how big those emotions feel. Like is the best thing like feeling like, oh well, I guess the best, but like not really important. And the worst thing is like, oh my god, so bad. And then you might want to do something, you know? Some people just can start with sort of like a gut feeling check in of like, how do you feel right now? more of like a, like not right now in terms of in this moment specifically, but sort of this general underlying feeling of the day, where like sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down, but it's the baseline you're evolving around. And where's that coming from? Is it good or bad? Does it need adjusting? That's sort of the idea behind it. It was just great as fuck as a kid because I didn't have friends. I made my own world to escape in. I never thought of it as exhausting. Come to think of it, I think you're right. But I didn't have an alternative, so it was just how I lived. No. Well, I'm glad you don't have to brave um, two people anymore. But it's funny how humans can develop this kind of thing. Is it normal to not remember childhood and teenage years at all and remember some past but all bad memories? Um, so it depends, right? A lot of things can come from a lot of different places. Um, but not knowing, like not remembering your childhood and teenage years, um, can be like coming from sort of like how is it called? Is it like called depression memory loss or PTSD memory loss? Um, but yeah, in that area. Um, do you mean you remember like only bad memories from your childhood and teenage years? Because sadly, sort of like remembering bad memories more than good memories is quite normal and especially common if you're like in survival mechanism or like more in survival mechanism. Um, just because like this is what's useful to the brain to make you survive, right? And to secure your survival. Like this is the important information to not have you die. In terms of like this like sort of like, you know, like ape brain from like back in the day. It's these like happy moments and happy memories and stuff. Like this is not really what we're like made to like it's sort of like it's a tool, like happiness is a tool nature uses to drive us to certain positive behaviors which make us survive more, right? But it's sort of like the thing of like giving a dog treats to have it sit and something like this, like it rewards us with this to engage in behavior which has shown to sort of like be beneficial. um and it's not really like a thing where like anybody made an active choice about, but it's more like there were a bunch of different humans, and the human who got this positive feedback from doing positive things had a better chance of survival than a human who didn't have that. Apparently, at least. But we're definitely still aimed at survival. So maintaining like bad memories more than positive memories is quite normal, and also why happiness is so dependent on like these little habits like gratitude or mindfulness or social connection, and sort of fostering these like positive emotions and engaging in them over and over again and like really like training them. Sharp psychosis going to schizophrenia. Hmm, I get it. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think I would tell the people if they should know. Like, if they should be prepared for it, then they should know because otherwise they can't prepare for it. But I definitely understand that it's sort of a thing where, like, it's like tough to easily talk about it. Maybe actually, like, so depending on like the country you live in and the general openness to something like this, I think if the general openness to this is limited and you're more in like a conservative country, I maybe would say it earlier, to weed out people who won't even talk with me about it. Um, and just like, I don't know, like when I try to make new friends, like say it on like the second or third day or something. But I think if you're in a country which is like, like regular conservative, like there's definitely enough people also which are like non-conservative and like open to stuff like this. Um I don't know, yeah, then I would probably just say it like if they should know. No, I'm scared they will get upset. I don't think they have to get upset, like depending on how you phrase it. I feel like if you phrase it in a way like where you're like, I know this is something we like all agreed upon and I know I should be fine with this. And I know it probably or maybe it wouldn't even have changed anything, but I just feel like I don't know, I just like this thought always comes back in my mind, you know, and I just wished she wouldn't be at this point. And I don't know, I don't think they're gonna be upset. You know, Esther. Oh, see you after therapy. Oh my god, I'm so far behind with chat, guys. Sleep well, Lady Alitair. And you're welcome. Hmm. See you in 90 minutes, Indy. I haven't seen a therapist in a while, and the guy I see at the gay cafe that used to be in the army psych hasn't been around. Also, I feel like if I did talk to someone, they would label it as stress because of my home situation and everything going on with me. That just doesn't sit right with me because I've had these psychosis symptoms before. Usually, limerence is the spark. Hmm. I feel like So I feel like if you're gonna see a therapist, usually good therapists take very well into account what you bring to the table as knowledge and what you feel like is the cause. Um, because after all, like the science we have about health is the biggest knowledge we have is that it's very, very individual. Like there's sort of common lines and common denominators and stuff, but it's still very, very individual, and especially with mental health. So I think a good therapist or psychologist would always like take your like view on this topic serious. And I think like every other person should do that too, but you know. But if you know where it's coming from, like do you already have like an old treatment plan which worked back in the day, which you can like do now or something? Like do you want help from a therapist at the moment? Welcome crying Emery baby. In the summer I get heightened symptoms. Okay, interesting. I mean, it would be interesting to try and read up more about this. So maybe you can like Google and like find some better articles about this. Like, let me check if this website has anything about borderline. Okay. So they have an article about borderline personality disorder. It's like the general one, but they have also like some other articles on it. So I don't know. Maybe you can find some more information about it there. Like maybe they also bring up the like summer and heightened symptoms thing or not, or like link to better resources. I have a headache. Would it go away if I stay here? I mean, it really depends on where the headache is coming from, right? And like how it works for you, Tesh. But like I know for myself, like my headache probably wouldn't go away from like being in a stream. I'm gonna be honest, like sitting at the PC, like staring at a like display, like my headache is usually getting better if I'm like with like fresh air outside and usually like doing something like relaxing, like maybe listening to music or like an audiobook or something. But it really depends on you and how your headache works. So, you know. This week, two different friends from two very different friend groups both made the same joke of telling me I wasn't wanted around in the same 24-hour period. So not sure what the joke was supposed to be, still feeling like the common denominator has to be something about how I carry myself, isolated myself for like 5 days, till I was in a space where I could hear another comment like that without it ruining me. Hmm. I'm sorry, love. I mean, maybe you can, just like talk to them and be like, hey, I know you meant it as a joke, but like you guys like do want me around here, right? Like you do like me as a friend, no? I think like asking this seriously and like showing that you're kind of insecure and hurt by it might be really nice. Hmm. It's so nice that one of them already reached out and like noticed how you were struggling with it. Maybe you can tell both of them that like you're like not doing too well right now and that like jokes like these like really make you like super insecure and if, like those are like even if you know they mean them as jokes, you just can't shake them off and they don't feel like jokes to you. And you made a big step today, Asmokar? So basically, I have phobia of traveling outside the city boundaries, and I get panic attack as soon as I leave the city, so heavy that I need to immediately return. So I started driving alone on short distances outside to build. Okay, sorry. To build a habit, but I still have to fear of traveling, but with other people because I don't know their reaction. Today I traveled with a friend of mine for like 30 kilometers far from the city and was fine. Oh my god, that's amazing, Hasmukar. And I'm really glad you did this. Like this is perfect exposure therapy if you ask me. Like taking small steps like on your own pace but sort of consistently and just sort of engaging with the phobia like little by little and like always sort of challenging yourself to like as much as like possible within like not being like too exasperated from it to like new lengths. Like this is perfect. You're doing so well. Like you should be proud of yourself. This is amazing. This is big positive news. Like really, Slay, be proud of yourself, buddy. This is awesome. This is really awesome. I hope you know. Oh, guys, I'm so far behind. Am I? So, how? Quick question. Do should I jump to the the conversation right now, or should I keep reading through the chat until I'm at the new messages? Because I'm like really far behind. Like, what do you guys like? What do you guys prefer? Keep reading? Okay. So just know then, like, don't feel like I'm ignoring you all or anything, right? But like, I'm just gonna go back to I don't know 20 minutes ago or something, 15. But yeah, thank you for the thorough explanation. I guess the past week has been good actually. I'm a bit scared of saying that for some reason. I feel when you're struggling, you're not allowed to have good times. You have to be struggling constantly. This in my head, obviously, but yeah. I spent a lot of my time with actual real people last week, and I enjoy that, but it's also so hard. Mind is racing when I'm conversing with someone, so there's a clash. Something I want, but it's so hard to do. I get it. And you're welcome for the explanation, don't worry about it. And definitely, I'm glad that you had a good week. And I mean, maybe, even like if it was a good week, even though it was so exhausting, maybe it's worth like keeping going and just making it a habit because then it might just get like less exhausting and like more natural for yourself to be in this position. But yeah, like spending time with people IRL is usually really, really positive. And I'm glad you had a good week. Like, don't be afraid of having a good week. Something like this is really important to have the strength to, well, carry you through a bad week, right? So don't feel bad for it. At least not from my side. Yeah, whenever I get past memories, I get glimpses of bad memories of past. Yes, I'm in survival right now. So if you remember anything from like childhood or teenage years, you always remember like bad things. Um, that's I gave you like the link to this website, right? Read up on PTSD. Like this could be a thing, and it's definitely like useful to know, because then you can like look into like how you're supposed to like handle those moments and these memories coming back, and how do you like care for yourself best in those situations, relaxing. All right, so I would sort of like, I would think it's probably like really useful to read up a bit about like PTSD, and if you feel like you relate with that, and how it describes, if that fits your case. Do live streams usually remain available after they end, or do you delete them? They remain available. They not only remain available, but they are on YouTube. Because on Twitch, you guys need to know that like live streams after you did them, they stay for 2 weeks or something, and then they go away because Twitch doesn't want to save all of that. So I always upload them to YouTube. So yeah, check out the YouTube link. It's like in the description below. And I always keep the number. So if you want to like come back to a stream, just keep the number in your mind or write it on a quick note or something. And then you're gonna find the stream again. And hi, Banye. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? Ah, Lucan, you already got it. I'm finding the clinical psychology path really annoying in terms of career progression and money. I feel people are more established in their late 20s. And I'm here with my AP roles and living at home, and women are like, nah, I feel the same. Bro, I feel you so much. Like clinical psychology, the path is insane. Like this is honestly like why I don't study psychology. Like I'm not like a licensed psychologist or anything. I'm here in terms of like a peer support person or a mental health coach, you could say. Like I inform myself, like read books, do certificates and all of that stuff. I do like I read like the MIT course book and do like the MIT psychology course, but I will never get like a degree or anything from it. And I thought about this a lot, but studying clinical psychology, becoming an actual licensed psychologist takes forever. And apart from taking forever, it costs a bunch of money, and the industry and working conditions are shit. Because I feel like people ask you to work too long, in terms of being healthy for your own mental health. There's so many people I hear from who are like burning out after they studied and invested all that time and money, and then just go and work at like some company. And yeah, this is why I do this stream instead. Like I leave the doing actual therapy to the psychologists who invest that time. Like my head's off for them. It's amazing they do what they do, and I'm here, and I don't know. I also like honestly like I feel like if I could have gotten into psychology when I just got out of school, I would have studied psychology, and it would have been perfect. I would have like now probably like be around to finishing it. Um, but I studied something else first, and then as a second study, starting something which will take so long because you need a bachelor, you need a pre-master, you need a master, then you need to work after your master as well, and then somewhere along the line you're like an actual clinical psychologist, is tough, and you don't even earn that much. Like they got pay cuts in Germany recently. It's insane. Um, but yeah, there's, um, I mean, if you can do it, definitely do. It's amazing, and we need people like this. Um, but I get the frustration. I completely do. Because I would love to study it. But with the time and money it takes, it's not, it would be a really big hassle. Like I would have to work the entire time while I'm studying for such a study. That's quite hard. Um, Automod held a message from relaxing, but I'm just gonna read it out. Whenever I think about leaving my toxic family without any contact, there's something I think stops me in my mind. I mean, I know I don't want to live here, and my mind knows it too. But there's something that holds me back, even there's nothing. I think I'm addicted to live with toxic family, even if I don't want to. There's definitely an effect that we are more, that we can sometimes be more scared of the thing we don't know than scared of the thing we do know, even though if the thing we do know is toxic. And then engaging in something where we don't know how it's going to be can be scarier than that. Um, it's especially, I think, if you have to go no contact or want to go no contact from your parents, it's just like a really complicated situation. It's really confusing and it's really hard. And don't shame or blame yourself. Don't fault yourself. Just give yourself time to think about it, to be curious as to why that is, if there is some hope left, for example, or if you fear that you won't find anybody loving you like this later or something like this, It's always really nice to just be curious as to why you feel conflicted and figure out this these feelings. Once you're aware of them, it's usually like easier to deal with them. Whoever is going to go to a therapist for the first time, a thing I want her to know is that is to not have impossible expectations. What I mean is, don't expect a therapist to solve your problems and miraculously, I don't know if I'm saying right, to heal you. The therapist will help you so you can fix your problems. He won't do it for you. Yeah, I upvote this one from Hasmukar. I also thought like don't wait for don't wait with getting help until it's bad. Like if you're already at that point, like don't use this to be like, oh well, then I don't have to get help anyway. Like I'm not saying it's like hopeless then. I'm just saying it's harder than if you go beforehand. Like the earlier you go, the easier it's gonna be to fix something. The later you go, the more of a habit it's in you, the more relationships around you it has already influenced, and all of that. Also, the more it has influenced your body already. So, if you're struggling, try to seek help as early as possible for you. It's just like it's never impossible. It's just gonna get harder. So, don't have too much of this like, oh, I'm gonna do it myself. Like, I feel like honestly, it would be like if we make therapy, and like mental health coaches and people like this, if we make this a bigger market, the market will, like, if there's more demand, the market will adjust to the demand. Like that's just economy, right? So if this is available in your country and you're not doing it because you're like, oh, but it's not too bad yet, and there's other people who need it more, don't be like that. Sign up for it. Show the government, we need people ASAP. Don't fuck around anymore. Don't play with me. And hi, Forever. Welcome, welcome. Therapists are a joke. People just want someone to talk to. To therapists, you're just a paying customer. I don't think that's correct. Like, were you in therapy, Velho? Or like, where's this like information coming from? Because I can only say that like I don't think this is applicable to every therapist. I think this generalized statement is harmful, actually. Um, and I can only say that it's not like it's definitely not applicable to every therapist because I was in therapy as well, and I got such a cute gift from my therapist once I like left therapy, and it was so wholesome, and my therapist and me were like really vibing. And even though, of course, he's like paid to be there, it doesn't mean he doesn't enjoy it or he doesn't like me or he doesn't form connections to his customers. Like, just because you get paid doesn't mean you don't care. Like, this is a capitalistic world. Like, you, at the end of the day, you just need to earn some money from no matter where. And if you love your job, that's amazing. Like, just because you get money from somebody doesn't mean you don't care about them. Greetings back to Mexico from the Netherlands. And welcome to the stream. Thank you, Focus. Hi, Bolt Saver. Hi, hi. All right. Perfect, Lady Reinhardt. See you then. I'm gonna end the stream today before 5. Which means now it's like 2:30 here. So so like 2.5 hours. Like maximum is the stream still. I need to end before 5 because then the cats are gonna come. I am psychology. Oh, I love you, Bolt Saber. Cute, great. Doesn't need to learn psychology. She is psychology. She is natural. She is an angel's met to guide us and understand our true selves. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Join the cult now. Only $3.99 per month. I love it. The force is strong in this one, yeah. Amazing. Oh, yeah, I don't have glasses. Oh my god. I'm developing a tick, honestly. Jesus. I was like literally like pushing up my glasses. My glasses are so dirty. Oh my god. I can't show this to you. I was about to show it to you, like, haha, look how dirty my glasses are. It's disgusting, guys. I've just moved to a new city and I want to ask for some help. Can I? For sure, go for it. Oh, stretching is kind of nice. Let's all stretch a bit. And hi, Future Mar. Welcome, welcome. Oh my god. I have muscle pain so much. I was in the gym yesterday. And I went too hard, guys. Oh my god. I love the emote. Cute. Mushroom lady. You got knowledge on OCD? Oh my god, we actually already just talked about OCD. I was giving out. Well, now it's empty. I think my keyboard is fine, actually. Oh my god. Oh, my whole. Oh, everything is wet. Oh fuck, I don't have everything yet. No. Oh, my sock is wet. It's disgusting. My sock is so wet. Oh my god. Bro, this was like 400 milliliters for sure. Ugh. Oh my god. Oh, shock. Ugh. Disgusting. My keyboard is like fully drenched. Like my keyboard got the whole thing, but it's still glowing. It's not doing weird things. Oh my god, this is. You guys see this? Oh my god. Jeez. So wait, I wanted to. Let me look up OCD real quick. Can somebody, like, I sent the OCD link in beforehand. Like, whoever got that link, send it in again, please. Answer it to Tron42454, please. That would be much appreciated. Then I don't need to type on my wet keyboard. Oh my god, everything's so wet. It's crazy. Jeez. The whole floor. Oh my god, why is this not soaking up water, by the way? Oh my god. Well, I needed to clean my mouse pit anyway. I guess this was the Holy Spirit telling me to fucking clean my mouse pit. Right, give me more cable, please. Well, it's like it's on helpguide.org or in my resource list. Like I have a command which is like exclamation mark resources, and there I have those links too. It's like helpguide.org. It's a really nice website. They do like a lot of, they have a lot of nice articles about OCD. So if you want more like just general information, I think that's a really good place to start. I can just say like we also like if you want to talk about something specific, like we can also do that here. Like I personally also have like OCD tendencies, so I can talk from experience there. My foot is wet still. This is so wet. I need another one, wait. Oh. And that's why I didn't use open cups near my PC. This is literally the first time. I never, like, this literally never happened to me. I'm so serious. Like, this never happened to me before. I'm like, I'm in shock. I'm usually like, I don't know, like stuff like this just doesn't happen to me. Usually. So, I don't know. Oh, it's so wet. Okay. Oh. It's like so wet still. It's crazy.